The Pittsburgh Steelers are on a mission. After another season of coming up short in the playoffs, this franchise is doing everything it can to take the next step and bring a Super Bowl back to the Steel City. But there's one massive question still looming over this team. Who will be the starting quarterback in 2025? Before we get into all the breaking news and latest rumors, do us a favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update on your Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, let's get into it. Pittsburgh has made it clear. They want a veteran quarterback to lead this team. Right now, Aaron Rodgers is the top priority, and Russell Wilson remains a backup option. But the New York Giants might have something to say about that. Rodgers spent nearly 6 hours meeting with the Steelers last week. That's a strong indication that Pittsburgh is all in on him. But the Giants? They're still lurking. Even after signing Jameis Winston, New York is reportedly considering adding another veteran QB and drafting one in the first round. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler confirmed that the Giants are still in play for both Wilson and Rodgers. Russell Wilson is not totally off Pittsburgh's list. Still in the mix with the Giants, Fowler said. Despite that Winston signing, my sense is the Giants have looked at signing 2 free agent quarterbacks, and then they can still draft one. They're ready to start from scratch on their quarterback room. If the Giants pull off a move for Wilson or Rodgers, that puts the Steelers in a dangerous position. With Justin Fields already gone to the New York Jets, Pittsburgh has very few remaining options. So, what happens if Rodgers chooses New York or decides to retire? What's the Steelers' plan B? Let's say Pittsburgh misses on both Rodgers and Wilson. What then? Do they roll into the season with Mason Rudolph as the starter? Absolutely not. The front office would have no choice but to explore the trade market. There have been whispers about Matthew Stafford or Trevor Lawrence potentially being available, though those seem unlikely. A more realistic trade target might be Anthony Richardson, a young quarterback with elite athleticism who struggled with injuries in his rookie year. The Steelers could also explore options like Mac Jones or Kyler Murray if their teams decide to move on. Pittsburgh isn't typically a franchise that makes desperate moves, but at this point, their hands might be tied. The last thing they want to do is enter the 2025 season without a legitimate starting quarterback. How did we even get here? Why are the Steelers scrambling for a quarterback this late in the process? Well, it all goes back to the failed Kenny Pickett experiment. Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer recently pointed out that Pittsburgh is still paying the price for missing on Pickett in the 2022 draft. Think Pittsburgh and the Giants are the same this way, in that this is a very real-time example of what happens when you strike out on a quarterback in the first round and how that can wind up reverberating for years and years, Breer said. I think, in a lot of ways, this is still a fallout of striking out for the Steelers on Kenny Pickett 3 years ago and for the Giants on Daniel Jones 6 years ago. And it feels like those teams are still chasing those mistakes. Pickett was supposed to be the long-term answer. He was the hometown kid, the next face of the franchise. But after struggling with injuries and inconsistent play, the Steelers had no choice but to move on. And now they find themselves in quarterback purgatory, scrambling for a solution. Heading into the 2025 NFL Draft, the Steelers are a team surrounded by uncertainty. They hold the 21st overall pick, and while quarterback is the biggest question mark, the team could also use help on the defensive line. However, the Steelers' biggest challenge might not just be picking the right player. It's making sure they don't get leapfrogged by other teams looking to make a move. One of the biggest X factors in Pittsburgh's draft strategy is veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers. The Steelers have reportedly made an offer to the 4-time MVP, but he has yet to make a decision about his future. If Rodgers signs before the draft, the urgency to take a quarterback in round 1 drops significantly. But if he goes elsewhere or drags out his decision, Pittsburgh could be forced into drafting a young signal caller, setting up a battle with other QB-needy teams. The top 2 quarterback prospects in this draft are Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, both expected to be off the board within the first 3 picks. That means teams like the Cleveland Browns and New York Giants, who are also in the QB market, will be scrambling for other options. Enter Jackson Dart, a prospect with a wide range of evaluations from scouts. Some believe he's a surefire first-rounder, while others think he could slide. If the Steelers want him, they may have to fight for it. According to draft expert Todd McShay, Pittsburgh isn't the only team interested in Dart. I think Jackson Dart could be a top 10 pick. If he's not, we talk about Pittsburgh at 21. But the Browns or Giants, whichever team doesn't get Shed or Sanders, could be looking to move up, maybe into pick 19 with Tampa or 20 with Denver. This presents a major problem for the Steelers. If they are seriously considering Dart, they may have to move up in the draft to secure him before Cleveland or New York jumps ahead. While the Browns sit at the second overall pick and will likely secure Sanders if they want him, the Giants are a bigger mystery. They've been linked to Aaron Rodgers, just like the Steelers, but they also have their eyes on a young quarterback. The Giants already signed Jameis Winston this offseason, but many believe he's just a temporary fix while they search for a long-term solution. General Manager Joe Schoen and head coach Brian Daboll are on the hot seat in New York. If they don't make a strong move at quarterback, their jobs could be in serious jeopardy. That's why many analysts believe the Giants won't just sit back and wait. They'll be aggressive. If New York doesn't take a quarterback with their third overall pick, there's a high chance they trade back into the first round to grab one later. With picks 33 and 34 in the second round, the Giants have the ammo to trade up, possibly targeting one of the teams right in front of the Steelers, like Tampa Bay, 19th overall, or Denver, 20th overall. If that happens, Pittsburgh could be left scrambling. Despite the quarterback speculation, there's still a chance Pittsburgh passes on the position in the first round. If Rodgers signs, drafting a QB early becomes far less likely. Instead, the Steelers could focus on addressing other needs, like defensive tackle, where there will be elite talent available when they're on the clock. However, there's another key reason why teams like the Giants and Browns will want to draft a quarterback in the first round rather than waiting, the fifth-year option. First-round picks come with an extra year of team control on their rookie contracts, making it much more appealing to select a quarterback in the first round rather than in the second. So if Pittsburgh does want Dart, they'll need to be aggressive. If not, they could look toward later-round options or even explore the trade market. But they need to be careful. Missing out on a quarterback again could leave them in the same limbo they've been in since Ben Roethlisberger retired. At the end of the day, the Steelers have put themselves in a tough spot. They're either going to, 1, go all in on Aaron Rodgers, hoping he still has enough left in the tank to lead them to a Super Bowl, 2, sign Russell Wilson as a short-term option, knowing he may not be the long-term solution. Roll the dice on a trade, which could be a massive risk. Draft a quarterback and hope for the best. None of these options are perfect, but one thing is clear. The Steelers have to get this decision right. They've already built an exciting offense around DK, Metcalf, George Pickens, and a strong offensive line. Now they just need the right quarterback to put it all together. So what do you think, Steelers Nation? Should Pittsburgh go all in on Rodgers? Is Wilson a safer bet? Or should they surprise everyone with a big trade or draft pick? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single update. We've got plenty more Steelers news coming your way. Here we go.